Don't you hate it when you're doing a Let's Play and you want to start off at a certain area, but then a random cutscene shows up and you're not recording yet, and you have to pause the cutscene? That's just what happened here. Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play .xgu. Gasbird's sad in this one. Why is Gasbird sad?
Oh, it's you, Haseo.
I love the way Gaspard just thrusts his entire gut forward as he runs.
You don't look so good.
I'm fine. I'm pretty much the same as always.
All right then.
You're not fine, Gaspard.
To fight at the arena to raise my rank.
Yeah, Haseo will remind you of this over and over and over. But that doesn't mean you can't do other things. So, last time I kind of skipped over it, but you may have noticed that Gaspard sent an email about a quest at the quest shop. If people are like showing random side quest things in forums, I'm probably gonna skip it. But if someone emails me something directly, then I'll play around with it, because you never know if that's gonna be like story related. So we're gonna take Gaspard and not Syllabus. We're gonna take our new party member Piros the Third and see what he's all about, because he's fun. I like him. So, and as you can see, we also have some other quests opened up. Like the Chim Crown quest, these will unlock different vital vistas around the town that kind of keep track of your progress in a few different areas. You don't really get any great rewards from them, except maybe some scrolls that permanently increase your stats. And you know, those are great and all, but like, so I'm kind of trying to rush through this game for the Let's Play. I was debating whether or not to do them, since you don't really get anything vital from them. I do come back and do those other ones later, more so because it just annoyed me that I had so many open new quests on that list. But for now, if you're wondering what's going to happen to those, they're not going to be done for quite a while. Especially the one about the bounty hunters. Because, I wasn't sure or not. Yeah, I wasn't really following my guide while playing this. I don't think you need a guide for this game at all, but I do have a guide. So, I was trying to look through there just to see, like, rewards for these quests, like, what's worth doing and what's not. And it kind of mentioned, you can face some pretty strong enemies if you unlock the bounty hunter stuff that may end up killing you. And since I'm trying to make it a point to save in between episodes rather than when I complete an area, I don't really want to like run into something that might kill me that's like way stronger than what I was anticipating. But we'll get more into that when we get there. So this Vital Vista here keeps track of lucky animals, and you'll go to him and basically he compiles a list of all the lucky animals you've run into and how many times you've run into lucky animals in general, and then give you some prizes based off that. Again, it's gonna take you through more areas than you actually go through in the game, so it's kind of like a grinding thing if you want to complete that thing, this whole whatever, get all the rewards you possibly can get from them. And I just kind of think it's a waste of time and not really worth it.
Let's start this.
But just to unlock it, and because Gaspard wanted to, we'll do it. Well, this is a good chance to gain a couple of levels and see Piros the Third in action. These enemies here, there are a couple of different types of enemy varieties in this game, and I don't mean like the type of monsters, but do you see that blue bar underneath their health? Some flying enemies have this blue bar, and it kind of acts as a defense for them, and you won't deal a lot of damage to them while that blue bar is active. Once you deplete the blue bar, and you do that just by attacking them over and over, they'll fall to the ground and they won't fly anymore. and you'll be able to attack them normally. You may have noticed Piros III doing his air raid skill. That is an aerial type skill. I'm not sure when I show it exactly, but if you look at your skill list and your arts, you may notice different skills may say aerial or pierce. Those skills are good at taking down either aerial enemies or the other type of enemy, which is an armored enemy. They'll have a red bar underneath, and they basically act like the aerial ones, where you won't deal much damage to them until you break that armor. So the pierce attacks are better for that. You may have remembered Haseo used a heavy broadsword in his in one of the intro cutscenes. You will be able to gain the ability to equip both a twin blade weapon and a broadsword weapon. And those broadswords in general are usually pretty good for taking out armored foes. So you'll start seeing them more once we unlock that feature. But for now, you'll see the aerial ones out. Probably, it's convenient that Piros III just joined our party and he does have that aerial skill. But Haseo will learn an aerial skill with his twin blades fairly soon as well. I think it's called Sparrow Counter. So, when you start seeing aerial enemies and you haven't learned that skill yet, you may want to just start using skills with the twin blades a little more often, just to try to get that skill ASAP. And Piros III is another class that we haven't seen yet. He's called a Lord Partisan, and he uses this giant, like, lance drill, which I think is really awesome. I'm pretty sure he is the only Lord Partisan you get throughout all 3 volumes as well. So, unfortunately, it's kind of an underused class. He can equip heavy armor, like Haseo can, so that's cool. He's got a lot of HP as well. He starts at several levels higher than you, too. So, if in the beginning of the game here... I should stop calling it the beginning of the game. We're kind of getting towards like a third or midpoint type of place in the game. But if for whatever reason you're not leveled up all the way and you have to go to an area that is a higher level than you can take Piros III along for insurance, just because he should be able to handle whatever's there. I love the gold armor. It's a good contrast to Haseo. Piros III plays up like this hero of justice thing, and he's totally role-playing a character that may not be totally role-playing, because I really feel like Piros III is this type of person in real life too. He's very much a tropey kind of anime character that wants to be that kind of person in real life. It's interesting that he's a Lord Partisan in this one. Well, I guess it's not too interesting, but in the first series, he was a heavy axeman, so he used a big axe. And since there are no axemen in this game, I guess the lance is kind of the closest thing to that. You could say the broadsword class, they call it an edge punisher, might be better for that. But I guess since Haseo's can equip the broadsword, they wanted to just kind of do something different. Not that you get many edge punishers in the game. In fact, I'm not sure if you get any at all besides Haseo. I honestly can't remember. You must have gotten one. I think there's at least one person for each class that joins your party. But I don't know, I guess it's also like he's kind of like Lancelot, so he's more like a knight with the lance. I love that it's a drill, though. Like, I do like a lot of the weapon designs in this game, even though there aren't a lot of them. And the things on front of his chest, they lit up in the last episode during the cutscene, but I always kind of thought they looked like, I don't know, bullets or something about to be launched from his chest. Because, I don't know, I guess part of me also sees, like, a giant robot costume in Piros' design. So, I don't know. Piros the Third, he's just a fun character. When Hiseo is just being an obnoxious, moody prick, I don't know. Piros the Third is just kind of a breath of fresh air in this game. And it's weird, because I didn't like Piros too much in the first series. He, like I said before, he was a lot more mellow. He talked a lot more, like, Shakespearean. And, just, I don't know, he had this dumb-looking bowl cut that his helmet is probably hiding right now. He had this obnoxious green armor that kind of looked like a frog. I don't know. I just think it's a lot better in this version here. And I was thinking, I mentioned before, where was Piros the Second? Well, in the Dot Hack manga that was in the first generation, they called it Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight or Dot Hack Dusk, depending on who you wanted to talk to about it. There was a character in there that wasn't really Piros, but kind of felt like a similar character to Piros. And I always wondered if that was maybe supposed to be who the second version of Piros was. But I don't think it was him. I think it was confirmed that he was like a high school student that knew the main characters in real life or something. It's been such a long time since I've read it. I could be wrong. But Piros the Third is definitely an adult that works for CC Corp in this game and is totally fired up because of the things Triad is doing to his graphics. I guess he's like the head graphics designer for this game. So good thing he didn't hear what Hiseo had to say to Adelie in a couple episodes ago. But you know, Piros the Third's design is also probably a little hacked. Like the Piros's design in the first series was also hacked. Like you weren't supposed to like, I mean, I guess most Dot Hack characters all have a unique design compared to other characters, but you could tell that since Heavy Axemen in the first series tended to have a helmet on, and Piros the Third Piros the First never did, so you can tell he kind of did something sorta against the rules with his character, but whatever. So, but I don't know, just how much he stands out. I just kind of feel like he did the same thing here. But if you asked me, like, all the way back in 2006, like, what would you say if Piros was one of the only characters to come back in the sequel series? I'd say, that's horrible. Why would I want that at all? But I was genuinely happy and surprised that Piros the Third came back the way he did. He can still be annoying too, I guess, but I mean, honestly, just after all the crap with Hiseo, like, whatever. I will gladly accept a character like Piros the Third in this game. It's nice to have some of his style. He's like Kamina before Kamina was a thing from Gurren Lagann. Or that type of character, anyway. It's hard to kind of pinpoint when anime tropes started becoming tropes, but I feel kind of like in the mid to late 2000s, you started seeing, like, more repetitive themes and characters and other types of stuff in different anime and JRPGs, and each thing kind of felt less and less unique and original. And I don't know, maybe it was earlier too. You know, it's hard to say because at this point in time, I was also, you know, I was in high school. Well, hell, you can say I was in middle school when I first got into anime. So, you know, anime costs money, and you know, it's not exactly an inexpensive hobby. Unless you just, you know, do it all illegally online, which I never really got into. But, you know, I guess in high school, anime was kind of limited to what I could afford or what I could borrow from another friend if they happened to have something that I was interested in. But, you know, once I got a job and I started making my own money, then, it was easier to, access new titles I was interested in. And, I guess around like 2005, 2006 is when anime started becoming more popular and more shows were made available in English on DVD or in manga. So, just the rate of consumption kind of went up higher for me at that point too. I don't know, just a little history of my experience with anime and manga and stuff like that. I actually just lost interest in it completely to the point where just like I hated everything about it, and that came just very suddenly and unexpectedly around 2011 or 2012. You may notice my second save file of this is in 2012, so one of the reasons why GU, I might be a little harsh on it, is because I remember just feeling so disappointed when I played the game again for a second time after being in love with it so much the first time during the middle of, I guess, my anime high. And, coming back for after not liking anime, it was kind of like hard because, they do focus on a lot of anime themes in this one, and it was very difficult not to ignore it. Now I've kind of mellowed out with it. I've actually went and rewatched some of the old shows I have particularly fond memories of, and I still enjoy those, if anything, for nostalgia's sake. But I won't like turn up my nose at trying out an anime. I recently tried out One Punch Man and liked it more than I thought I would. But it's still not something I really like go out of my way for. JRPGs might be different because at least that's a game you can play, but yeah, just at the time I was just so disappointed with my second playthrough of this game. And that was it. Wasn't too bad of a quest. Basically had to kick a rare animal. Gave you money. A lot of lucky animals you'll encounter will give you money. If not a lot of the lucky animals, then a lot of the lucky animals you'll end up running into, because lucky animals have different rarities as well. Like I found this, I forget what it's called, but it's like a caterpillar. That'll give you a little bit of money, and I found him probably most of all while playing this. Another thing that sucks about doing like the side quests for this guy, like going out of your way to get all the rewards, is just because you go to an area doesn't guarantee a lucky animal will be there. So, when you could only find one lucky animal per area, it may just, and you're going specifically for it, it may just kind of, dissuade you from wanting to do it anymore. The first Dot Hack series, you could say, their side quests weren't really worth it either. Most of it honestly just involves filling out the Ryu Books of 1,000. But it's still padding and stuff like that. They'll give you a cap at a certain point. Unlike that first series though, in this game, if you don't fill out like all the things he asks you to and get all the rewards, they won't be back for the second one. It's not like you can continue on, which is what I originally thought, and that's why I did the other ones too, because I just thought, let me just get them throughout the game. You'll actually have to do similar quests to these all over again in Volume 2 to unlock these features again, which I don't know if I'm going to do or not. I'm going to be honest, I really don't think it's worth it. Yeah, you got to get 50. That's too many. Well, anyway, next time on Let's Play Dot Hack GU, we'll do something else. See ya.